so now we'll flip over to the back side of that, we'll kind of move forward. All right, so here, I want T. What am I gonna do to get T? I'm gonna divide out what? P and R, okay? So I'm gonna divide out PR on both sides. And I'm gonna write it with T on the left because it makes me happy to do that. So then T is equal to I over PR. Also, with these things, be really careful that if it's a lowercase letter, you're using the lowercase. If it's the uppercase, you use the uppercase because an uppercase and a lowercase mean two different things. Y'all are comfortable that they mean different things, right? Okay. All right, so make sure. Okay, here we want Y. So, what do we need to move first? Okay, well, 4 is attached to the Y. So if we're doing order of operations in reverse, what do I need to get rid of first? The 4 or the 8x? I need to move the 8x. Okay, how do I move it? I'm gonna subtract it, okay. So I have minus 8x, and I'm gonna put it back here, not directly underneath the 12, because I really can't take it from 12x. Everybody okay that technically I can't do that, yes? Okay, so I'm gonna divide that out, or subtract that out, that's gone, 4y comes down, and then I'm gonna switch the order of my variable term and my constant right here. Y'all okay that I'm gonna switch the order there? So I'm gonna write the negative 8x first, and then the minus 12 behind it. We okay there? All right, now what do we need to do? I don't have y yet. Okay, how do I get rid of it? I'm gonna divide it out. So over here I divide by 4, cancels, right? Okay, back here when I divide by 4, you remember the other day I said technically I could separate this and write this as this over 4 and this over 4, right? So essentially this is just like when we simplify any other fraction, but make sure that, here's the deal, you have to be really, really careful. If for me to be able to simplify the 4 as a single fraction right here without separating the 8x and the 12, 4 has to go into both of those. Does that make sense? And it does in this particular problem. So I'm gonna simplify that out. So I'm gonna bring down my y. Negative 8 divided by 4 is gonna give me negative 2x, and then negative 12 divided by 4 is gonna give me negative 3. If I couldn't divide them both by 4, say one of them I could divide by 4 and the other one I could only divide by 2, then I would only be able to simplify by 2 there. Does that make sense? Without separating that into two separate fractions. Everybody understand what I'm saying there? Okay. All right. What about this one? I want C. What do I need to move first? The M. How do I move it? Divide it. Okay, so here it's going to cancel, and I'm going to swap sides with my stuff. I hope y'all are okay with that. So I'm going to write C squared on the left, and I'm going to write my E over M on the right. Okay, now I don't have C yet, so this time what am I doing? I take the square root. So this gives me C, and on the right side, I really can't take the square root of E or M because I don't know what they are, right? So I'm just going to write it square root of E over M, and I'm going to leave it like that. Everybody okay? All right, the next one, I want A, and A has B attached to it, C and D. All right, what do I need to move first here? The C and the D. Okay, how do I move C and D? We're going to subtract them. So I'm going to write it underneath here like that, and then back here I'm going to write it behind it because I don't want to write it underneath it because technically I really can't do it. That cancels, and I have AB is equal to E minus CD. Okay, so I still don't have A. What do I need to do to get A? Okay, so I'm going to divide out B here and divide out B here. B goes away, so I have A equal to E minus CD over B. And that's it. That's all I can do. There's nothing else there. All right. So when we look at what's the same and what is different, okay, so between using a problem that has all these variables and a problem that is more numerical, a single variable, okay? So like they're talking about like, what's the similarities and differences between this problem and this problem, and this problem and this problem. So as far as what is the same, the order in which we do things is the same. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm gonna say the same process. And remember that process is basically PEMDAS in reverse. We have to remember doing the reverse order when we solve equations. That's true for both. Alright, so how do these answers, what we've been getting, look different than what you're used to?
They're not all the way simple.
Yeah, I can't get x equals, right? I just can't do it. So our solutions have multiple variables. Is that logical to y'all? But the process is the same. So if you can solve another equation, if you can get something into y equals mx plus b, where you have y equals 4x plus 6, you can do this. It just means you might not have a 4 and a 6. Does that make sense to y'all? Okay. Alright, so this next problem here, it says the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is P is equal to 2L plus 2W. You get that formula in 5th grade. They want us to solve for W. Okay? So if I'm solving for W, what do I need to move first here? The 2L. How am I moving it? I'm going to subtract the 2L to the other side. I'm going to rewrite this. Are y'all okay if I rewrite it? Alright, because I want W, I'm going to write my positive 2W on the left, and then I'm going to write my P minus 2L on the right side. I like my variable on the left. It makes me happier that way. So it really ultimately doesn't matter, but okay. So now what do I need to do? Okay, divide by 2 here. And then divide by 2 here. Okay, so this is what I have. W is equal to P minus 2L over 2. So just a while ago, we had this problem up here where we were able to divide out the 4, right? Am I able to do that here? Good. I can't do it here because this P doesn't have a 2. If this P had a 2, then I could divide both pieces by 2. But because I can't do it, this is as far as I can write that. So I would have W is equal to P minus 2L over 2. Now, if I decided to separate this right side into 2 separate fractions, okay? Meaning, and I have W is equal to P over 2 minus 2L over 2. This means the same thing. We talked about that in the first part of this, okay? Now, this time, I can't do anything here, but I could divide the 2 out here because now I separated it into 2 separate fractions. Does everybody understand that? So this could be rewritten as W minus P over 2, or you could write it as 1/2 P minus L. Does that make sense to y'all? Are y'all okay with that? Alright. The next one says, read that question, Julian, please.
Using your equation in the A, find the width of a rectangle that has a perimeter of 244 inches and a length of 89 inches.
Okay, so we're using this formula, the equation that we just did, and I have a width, they want me to find the width if I have 244 and 59. So how am I plugging that in? What am I doing?
W equals 244 minus 2.
Let's use this here. Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
So 244 minus 259 divided by 2. Right?
Minus 2 times 59 divided by 2. If we use this formula here. Does that make sense? Which is probably how you're gonna leave it. Is that logical to y'all? It would be okay to plug it into this one too, but this is the way most likely you're gonna leave that problem. Alright, so if we do the math on that, we're gonna get 63 inches. Like, I'm confident y'all can plug that in a calculator. Okay, so I'm not gonna waste time on that. Okay, everybody good there? Alright, here, the formula for Fahrenheit is 9/5 of Celsius plus 32. Stop that one.